Hello guys, in this video that we'll be looking at introduction to Figma. So we're going to be looking at Figma and how to use this powerful design software. So now, all right, I have something here that tells us a little bit about Figma. All right, what is Figma? So here we see that Figma is a popular browser-based collaborative user interface design tool that is used in industries worldwide to create dynamic and interactive prototypes. Right now, Figma is browser-based, and now what browser-based means is that you can use it with your browser, and also it has an app that you can also use, right? The app also work like a form of browser, right? You need to be connected to the internet for you to be able to use Figma. So, and is the most popular tool for user interface designers, right? So a lot of UI/UX designer use Figma for their design works and for some other processes. All right, these are some of the key insights about what Figma is all about before we go to the Figma website on it. So now Figma is a versatile web design tool that it enables real-life collaboration for building interactive user interface prototypes. So the tool also provides users with the ability to add functionalities, include text, color changes, image adjustments, hovering, scrolling, and animation to their interface assets. What other thing you can do with Figma is that it's highly accessible and can be operated from any browser, just like I said. Currently, I'm using Google Chrome, so you can use Explorer, you can use Safari, you can use Mozilla Firefox, you can use any browser that you want to use to access Figma. All right, now let's go to the Figma website to really learn something about Figma. So this is the Figma website here. To get to Figma, you just come to figma.com, figma.com. So here you can see on the Figma that it shows you how you design, align, and build matters. So do it together with Figma. So this is the cool interface of the Figma tool, right? It allows you to design, it allows you to align, and it allows you to build your interface. So these are some of the cool things that you can do with Figma. It's trusted by teams at New York Times, Microsoft, Slack, Zoom, a lot of them. So what do we use Figma for? You can use it for design purposes. Here, you can co-create in one space. You can do a lot of designs. You can do prototypes. You can do a lot of things on Figma. You can also develop your full mobile application or website on Figma, design systems, and all of this. Now let's look at Figma pricing. Now, Figma, like some other tool, has some pricing systems. Right now, this will allow you to choose the right plan for yourself and for your team. Now, in total, there are 4 different packages for Figma. So we have the starter package, which is completely free. Now, this starter package is free. It gives you access to the Figma editor. You can use it for your editorial work. Also, it have 3 collaborative design files. It has unlimited personal drafts. It has basic file inspection. Now, and all of this is free. Now, if you are just starting out, like you are just starting right now in your professional UI design, so just consider using free, because as a starter, this is the perfect one to use. Now, another package that is there is the professional package, and these values are $15 per month. So this one will give you access to design, access to develop development mode, access to basic admins. In the design, you have unlimited Figma files, team libraries, advanced prototyping, and all that. Now, the next package there is organization, and this will give you $45 per month. And this one will give you some other cool assets that you can find in professional. And the last one is enterprise. This is $75 per month. It give you all the full-fledged features and benefits of Figma that you can use. The advanced admins, you can have unlimited controls over that, but the cost is $75 per month. So now, how do you now determine the one that best suits you? Now, it depends on you, right? But if you are just starting out, I believe that all what you need to get started is in the free starter plan, right? Now, that is something for you to know about Figma. All right. So another thing is that Figma also has a desktop app. I've mentioned it the other time. So for you to get to the desktop app, if you prefer using the desktop version of it or you want to be using the browser version of it, it depends on you. So for me as a person, I prefer to use the browser version, using my browser to access the Figma directly. Yes, I prefer to use that. So depend on you if you want to download the desktop app or you want to remain using the browser. So, but if you want to download the desktop app, from here, you just go to products, and from products you will see download. So from this place you can be able to get the desktop, mobile, and font installer apps, right? But if you want to get the desktop app, you can just click on this place and it will be downloaded to your system. Then you install it and you start using it. So it has the same function like the web-based one also. So now let's try to log in. If you are new to this, it's very simple. The process to log into Figma, it's very simple. In my own case, I've already have an account with them. I can just log in with my Google, right? Like log in with my Google account, right? That is already saved on the information. Now, this particular account that I'm using is mainly for training purposes, right? So now here is what I'm talking about. So is it that you have your email and password, and if you are new to Figma, like you don't have an account, you can just create one. But for the purpose of this class, I already have this training account. I'll just click on continue with Google and it will load to give me options of how it wants to continue. All right, so this is the Google account I want to use. I'll just select this one and it will now log in. Okay, so now this is the Figma. When you log in, this is the interface that you see next. Now let's talk a little bit about this interface right here. So here is your account. So when you click this place, you see information about your name, your email address, and then the team right? Now this theme, it's the current theme I use now is with the system theme, but I can change it to dark. I can change it to dark, and you see it will just be like this. But I prefer that light version, or I prefer that one. Let me just change it back to the way it was. So, and another thing is, if you want to do change some settings in this. If you want to change some settings, you can just click this place and then put some settings to your satisfaction there. And the other thing there is, from this place you can also get the desktop app. You can look at your community profile. You can log out, you can add another account to that. All right. Now, here are your recent. It shows some of the things that you've done before. And from this place right here, it shows you to ready to go beyond this free plan. Remember, we are using a free plan, right? So from this place, you can be able to upgrade your plan and be able to, change to something else. If you want to change from the free plan to enterprise to start to professional to teams and all that. So this is the place to get all that started. So now this broad space here is to show you some of your draft, some of the things that you've done before on Figma, right? So this is how it will display it. All of these places will show you some of the things you've done before on Figma. Yes, that is what exactly it will show you. And then you can be able to browse through your works. Here is recent viewed, and there is recent shared filed, and this shared project. All of these are, let's say you are working as a team and your team member send you some of these, they shared with you files or projects or all that. Now this particular account I'm using, like I said, it's mainly for this training purpose, right? So, and to get started, to the Figma interface and all that, the design interface of Figma, and to get our hands on the project, what we are going to do is from this place right here, we click on draft. When you click on draft, it will show you some of the draft that you have before, some of the things that you have drafted, some of the works that you've done before, right? And from this place, I want to create a new draft. So I'll just go to design file. There's design file, there is Figma board, there is import. Like if you want to bring something into Figma to that will allow you to start your design process from that. But I'll just click on new file so that it will open a new file interface for me so that I can be able to, do some little designs, create some user interface or create anything I want to. All right, so welcome to the Figma dashboard. Now this what it displays when you just open up the Figma design interface, right? Now let's explain all of this one on one. Now another thing I want you to know, the first thing I want you to know rather, is that there's no difference between the web version of Figma and also the desktop version. So this means that if you decide to use the desktop version of Figma, and if you decide to use the browser version of it, it's all the same. It requires internet, excuse me, and all your work are automatically saved. So there are no difference between the tools that will be displayed when you are using the desktop version and when you are using the browser version. Currently, I'm using the browser version because I like to, it's kind of the way I say it, more better. So now another thing is, now let's talk about this area that is covered with black dots. Now this area from this place to this place carries the tools in Figma. Now, if you look at all this now, I've not clicked anything, nothing is displaying. So we have this black area that have these tools. We have this left hand side, and we also have this right hand side that shows design or prototype. Now, in this right hand side, we see this design is for this wide area of canvas. You can see the page color, you can see the transparency if you want it to show, or you don't want it to show. If you want this color to show, if I click on this, it will show that this place is transparent. Okay, but I want the color to show so that it will have a difference between this side, and this side. Now let's talk about the this area. We'll be talking about them one after the other so that you'll be able to understand what these tools are about and how to use them. So now the first area is the main menu. All this part is the main menu. So in the main menu, you can be able to access a lot of things right there. You can be able to access your file, like if you want to design a new file, if you want a new Figma file, if you want new sketch, if you want to place image, if you want to save local copy, if you want to export, if you want to create a branch. And you can also access the edit part also. If you want to if you want to undo, or use Ctrl Z. If you want to copy, if you want to paste, if you want to find, if you want to everything that have to do with edit, so you can just use the edit, all the pick color and all that. Now we have the view part also. You want all of this to show. So now the main menu is where you actually do some settings. You want to look at objects. Now you see that none of this part is like visible right now because we've not created any object, we've not created anything. We are just looking at some of these things and what we can do with them. And here, if you want to edit text or stuff like that, you can be able to do all of them here. And you see that none of them is clickable because we've not put anything down. And you can look at arrange, vector, plugins. We are going to plugins in some deeper videos to explain what they are, and widgets. And these are preference. If you want to change any of these, you can just come to your preference. And also, they will also want you to know, if you want to get the desktop app, there are a lot of ways that you will be turning here. You'll be seeing download. You'll be turning there. You'll be seeing download. Okay. So that is what the main menu is about. Now the next tool that we have is the move tools. Now this move tool, we have the move and we have the scale tool. Now before I talk about this tool, this move tool will allow you to move items that you've created here. Right now we've not created any items at all. And the next tool here, the region tools. If I click on this, it will show you three tools. The first one is frame, and the second one is section, and the third one is slice, and all that. Now what are frames? Frames allow you to create for a particular screen. Now if I click on this frame, you see what displays at the right hand side. So at this side, we have a lot of frames that displayed. We have phone frame, we have tablet frames, we have desktop, we have presentation, we have for watch, we have paper, we have social media, we have Figma community, we have archive, we have all that. Now if I click on the phone frame, we have iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max, iPhone 14 and 15 Pro, iPhone 13 and 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 13 mini, iPhone SE, to Android small screen, and Android large screen. We have screens for tablet. If I click on tablet, we see Surface Pro 8, iPad, iPad Pro, and all of these are for tablet size. We have for desktop size, we have Mac Air, we have for TV screen, we have wireframe, we have MacBook Pro, and if you want to design for presentation, 16:9, 4:3. If you want to design for watch, you have a lot of different options. Paper, you have A4, A5, A6. We have letter. We have tabloid. We have social media and all that. But now coming to the phone design, let's say I select iPhone 14 or 15 Pro Max. iPhone 14 and 15. Now this is the frame for iPhone 13 and iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max. Now, this frame shows you the screen size of iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max. Now, with this it shows that this is the screen. Anything you design in this screen, is what we will be feasible when it's uploaded to iPhone 14 or iPhone 15 Pro Max screen. So that is the reason why before you do any design work in as a UI designer, you have to know what are you designing for, what type of device that your users are using. Like if your users mainly are iPhone users, then you will want to design the app of the website for iPhones. But if they are Android or they use general device, you can just use any of them, right, to show how the app will show on an iPhone and how it will show on Android, right? That is what the frame section is about. So the frame will allow you to add different kind of frames to your design work. Now, anything that you'll be designing should be we are getting to the place whereby you'll be seeing the other tools and how to use them. So in this tool, we also have the section and we also have the slice. We'll be talking about these two later on in the course of this video, but for now, this is what frame is about and how to use it. All right. So now another thing we want to look at, another tool is the shape tool. Now in this shape tool, we have several kind of basic shape. We have the rectangle, we have line, we have arrow, we have ellipse, we have polygon, we have star, and we have the option to place image or video in your particular design. So what I'm going to do is to put this on at this side so that we can be able to explore some of the shapes that we have there. Now, for rectangle, this is a rectangle. We know rectangles are basic shapes. This is a rectangle. Now, this same tool for rectangle, you can also use it to draw a square. Now, to draw a square, what you just have to do is, as you have clicked on the rectangle tool, you just have to, before you start drawing it, you hold the shift key. So you hold the shift, and anything you draw holding the shift and dragging it will always be in square format, right? That is how to get a square from the rectangle to, excuse me. Now the next shape there is line. So here you can draw different kinds of line. You can draw line as you want, but if you want this line to be straight as you are drawing it, if you want it to be straight, 100% straight or perfect straight, before you draw it, you know what you have to do? You have to hold shift. When you hold shift, the line will be straight and it will be 100% straight, no bending at all by holding shift. So another tool there is arrow. So the same thing that applies to line also applies to arrows. So if you want to let your arrows to, draw a normal arrow, or if you want 100% straight arrow, you can, oops, I clicked on line. So you just, you know, press the shift key as you are drawing or before you draw, and all of these we allow it to be straight. Now here we look at the move tool, right? Okay, the move tool will allow you to move your shapes. It will allow you to move things around the all of this area. Even though frames, you can move all these frames by just clicking on it and dragging it to where you want it to be. So that is what the move tool will allow you to do, right? And the scale tool K here, by using the shortcut K, will allow you to scale this, anything you want to scale proportionately. Now let's say let's use this one as an example, this square here. Now let's say I just come to this side, then I start, playing with the size and all that. Now, before it used to be square, but now the way it is not more square, right? Because I'm just expanding, I'm making it bigger or smaller, but it's not scaling proportionally, right? By pressing Ctrl Z, it will go back to the original size. But if I come here to use the scale, and then I now come to drag the object, it will tell you that the object will maintain the initial shape, maybe it's square, maybe it's rectangle, the initial size, but it will only be decreasing or increasing in size proportionally, right? Unlike you are not using scale, right? So that is what this tool does. That is what it's about, the move tool. So coming back to the shape tool, we have ellipse. So ellipse, what ellipse does, it allow you to draw basic shapes. You can draw ellipse like this, like the shape of the earth. You can draw stuffs like this, and you can also use it to draw, let me click on it again. You can use it to draw circle. Now to draw circle, what we just have to do is to hold down the shift key. When you hold down the shift, you can be able to draw a perfect circle like this. Just ensure you hold down the shift, just like we've been doing for square and we'll be doing for straight lines and straight arrows. So another thing you can do is you can also use the shape tool to create polygon. Now polygons are shapes that that have more than, okay, you can draw, this is a triangle, right? You can draw a lot of things on that. This is a triangle of 3 sides, right? If I want, right, you see what just happened now? Before I drew a triangle of 3 sides, but here you can change it to like 3. It will turn, if you can change it to 9. So the shape, this shape right there, polygon, will allow you to draw polygon. And the same thing is with star. When you click on star, you can be able to draw any star that you want, as you are okay with it. But if if you want a perfect star, as you are pressing the star, before you draw it, you just have to use the shift key so that it will be perfect in size and it will be proportionate to each other. So you can even come here and select how many sides or count do you want. Currently it's 5. You can change it to 10. or you can change it to anything you want it to be, right? You can change it to anything you want it to be. That is what that means, right? Now let's now go to the next tool. The next tool is, now, I have not talked about this. I will in other sessions to come when we start creating, so that what I'm just doing now is for you to have a basic understanding of the tools and how to be conversant with them, what they do. So the next one is the creation tools. In this creation tool, we have just two tools. There we have the pen tool, we have the pencil tool. Now, the pen tool is a tool that is very sophisticated on its own. In fact, there is a whole new video on the pen tool, how to use it and how to be proficient as at using the pen tool. Now, what is the pen tool? The pen tool will allow you to create um, designs that basic shapes cannot create. For example, what I'm doing right now is as a result of, I might not have the shape that might want to create this for me, but with pen tool, I can be able to, create any any vector that I want to create. Okay, so that is what the pencil tool help to achieve in that particular regard. Now, that is about the pencil tool. We After you are done with all your creation, you know, adding all of this, then you click the done. So there's a whole new video on how to use the pen tool on its own. Then we have the pencil tool. The pencil tool, with that you can, make some drawing. It's not perfect, but you can do a lot of things with the pencil tool, and it's we just be like that. And as we are designing, I will be showing you how to use all of these tools, but it's important for you to just, get conversant with them, what they do, and the basic understanding of what those tools are about. So the next one is the text tool. The text tool will allow you to add text to what you are doing by just clicking it and then clicking where you want the text to be and then adding the text. Hello world, for example, hello world, right? Now that is what the text tool will allow you to do. So we have another tool right there, is the resources. Now these resources, we are going to be doing this in later videos. This is the hand tool. Now you remember some times ago I was moving all of this about, right? Because I was using a shortcut. Now the shortcut is, if you don't want to, come here and press hand, you can just hold the space bar in your on your PC. So you can hold, if you hold the space bar, you can be able to move it around, like span the whole area and move it around and all that. Or you come to this place to use the hand tool. All right. So now another thing that we've not talked about is when you click on any shape or any vector, when you click on, or before you click on anything, you can see the things that are the left hand side. We have the layers, we have asset, and we have the page number. So now these layers are everything that are on the canvas here. Everything. We have this rectangle, we have this rectangle 2, we have this line 1, we have this line 2, we have star 1, we have star 2, vector 1, we have vector 2, we have the text right there. So every time we have the iPhone 14 and 15 Pro Max, that is this frame, we have it right there. So everything you are including in this artboard will be shown under the layers in this place right there. So that is, now when you click on any of the vector, any of the image, or no, any of the shape, it will give you some options that, now let's say at the right hand side, this is the right hand side. Let's say I now click on the shape. You see, this is what it gives me. But when I click on it, it will give me the option. Now it will bring this part. Now this is edit the shape, or you can, if you want to edit, you can use this part, or you come to this place, main menu, and see edit, right? Before, all of these options are not selectable, but now since we are working on the shape, it's selectable, right? So now if you want to create a component, you also use this. We'll be doing components in another video, or if you want to use it as a max, if you want to use it as a max, yes. Now with this, we're going to pick this one. I'm going to make it a little bigger like this, and okay, let me do it like this so that these two will be kind of different, far from it a little bit. Let's say they are here, and I have this one here a little big like this. So now as I click on this, let's now talk about the items on the right hand side here in the design, and we're not talking about prototyping now, but in the design at the right hand side we can see a lot of options. We have align left, align horizontal, align right, and all of this alignment. And we have, this shows the position of this rectangle on this canvas. X and Y shows the position. Now the width, it means from here to this side, the width, this is the width right there, and this H here shows the height of the object that I select. So if I select another object, it will show the same thing also. If I select another object, it will keep on showing their properties. So the items or stuff you are seeing at the right hand side shows the property of the selected items or selected objects that you are working on, you are designing. So for this shape, I can change the color right there. Let's say I change the color, the fill color. Fill, it means the color. I can change the color right here. Okay. Let's say I change the color to something like this, and then I come to green, this, and then I change it to something like this, right? So this shows that you can change the color right here. And another thing you can do to this object is to look at corner radius. Now there are several ways for me to actually put a corner radius to this if I want this area to be flat like this. So you can just come to the shape and then draw it from the inside to turn it to a circle, or to make it to have a radius like this. You can do it on the object itself, or you can come to this place and then select the radius you want, let's say 100 for example, and clicking OK, it will reflect on the object itself right there. So okay, let's make it back to 0. So let me also change this color. Let me change the color so that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about, to blue, something like this, right? So now selecting this object again, we can do a lot of other things. We can change the stroke. Let's say now there's no stroke in it, I can put this plus. So now the stroke is, you see, okay, let me make it bigger. So before we have the inside stroke. Yes, I want it still inside, but I want to make it, let's say now it's 1, let's say 10. Yes, you can see what stroke is. So this black area is, let me make it bigger, is what stroke is, right? So this black area is the stroke for that particular. So this is the introduction to the Figma interface. What the interface is about, some of the things that you can do. All right, before the end of this video, let's look at text. Let's look at text. Now, this is a text that we entered the other time. So when you select any text, the option that it's going to give you will be different from when you select frame. Now, I'm selecting frame now. Look, these are the options that the frame has given me. But if I select object like rectangle, options like rectangle, these are the options that it give me. So, but if I select text, it will also give a different option. So, and there are a lot of things you can do with text. You can change the color if you want. You can change the color that will suit you. You can change the font. You can change the font. Currently is at Inter, but let's say I leave it at that same Inter. You can change the thickness of the font. Let's say I want it to be black, so you see it will be black, like thicker, right? You can also change the size right there. Let's say we change the size to 40. Right now, this is the introduction to the Figma interface. Right, so in the subsequent videos we'll be looking at all of these aspects one after the other before we create our first initial project. So the next video will explore the shape tool and how to use some of this masking, and how to really edit, how to do some boolean operation, and how to be conversant with your Figma. So this is an introduction to Figma and what it can be used for. So you see we have all these rough areas so that you'll be shown how this thing works, and if you want to use it by yourself, you can actually go on ahead and have a lot of practice. Ensure you scatter things around, scatter, place anything. Don't worry about how you are placing things right there, because we are going into that. So but the focus of this is to just see different tool, different things that you can use them for and all that. Okay, so thank you so much. This is the end of the video. If you are new here, you can kindly share this video so that others that just learning about Figma can also have the necessary information and advantage just like you did. Thank you.